What's up, everybody, and thank you for listening to Mastering the Mindset. My name is Dariusdotch, and I'm an actor, hip-hop artist, and fitness and life coach. And I'm here to personally help you train and improve your mindset so that you can, 1, become the best version of yourself mentally, and 2, gain focus and motivation to be able to take action and achieve the success in life that you want and deserve. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to my channel, and at the end of this episode, if you liked it, please share it with a friend or a loved one or someone who would benefit from hearing this message. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm ready to go on this journey with you, and that journey begins now. All right, welcome back to another one. So this episode is going to be a little different than most other episodes, but like I always say, I think it's an important topic to discuss. So I'm excited to give you this one. So let's talk about leaving the past in the past. Let's talk about how to move on and let things that have happened to you go. And the first thing I'll say, and I know I'm going to sound like Captain Obvious again, but you can't do anything about your past. And we all know this, but the interesting or intriguing thing about it is we know this, but we still just don't let things go sometimes. For some reason, we just don't let it go, and we carry this weight around with us forever. And I'm damn sure guilty of that. We say, this person did this thing to me in the past, or that person treated me like this back then, and I'm still mad about it. And we know that it's over. It happened. No matter how hard you try, there is literally nothing you can do that's going to make it unhappen. So why is it so hard to let go? Because if we knew all that we knew now, things would have been different back then. And here's the thing. No matter what the situation was, no matter what happened to you, no matter what you did wrong, you did the best you could with the tools you had. Everybody around you, everything that happened to you or because of you, everybody did the best they could with the tools they had. And that may be hard to agree with, but if you really think about this, everybody, especially you, did the best they could with the tools they had. In that moment, if you could have done better, you would have. In that moment, even if you know what you were doing was wrong, even if the person who wronged you knew that what they were doing was wrong, in that moment, you were working with the best tools you had and only did the best you could do because that's all you could do. So if that means that your best in that moment was disappointing, then your best was disappointing because it's what you had. Same thing for everybody else. Your parents did the best they could. Your childhood may have been a horrible experience for you, but they didn't do that because they wanted to ruin your childhood. They did it because that was the best they could do with what they had. Whatever it is you're still mad about, whatever somebody did to you in the past, they did the best they could do with the tools they had and the knowledge and the understanding that they had in that moment. But we still wish that it would have been different, right? Of course we do. And we can't let go because we feel like it didn't work out in the way it should have. And there's this entrepreneur and life coach who I follow who says we quote unquote should all over ourselves. We should all over ourselves. It should have been different. It should have happened this way. It should have happened that way. I should have said this instead. They should have did this for me. And there's a phrase I love, and it says, what happened, happened. And it couldn't have happened any other way because it didn't. Meaning, if it was able to have happened another way, it would have happened another way. It happened the way it happened because that is what it was meant to do. Now think about all the bad shit that's happened to you in your life. Let's think about all the BS we've been through, the things that happened to us, all the bad things from the past, some of your hardest moments. Going through those times wasn't fun, right? Like for me. One of the hardest moments of my life is when I was arrested for a DWI and being in jail for a few days, having no cellmate, in a cell for 23 hours a day, nobody to talk to, just me and my thoughts, and the decision I made to drink and drive, knowing that I lost my job. I was recently out of a relationship with my ex at the time, and I was really missing her at the moment because I needed to feel love. And I can laugh now because I'm in a better place, but I mean, it was only 3 days. Right. But still, it was 3 days before I was able to see a judge and get released. But that was a really low moment for me. I can't imagine what solitary confinement is like. In the next couple of years, I spent recovering from that mistake I made. Working temp labor jobs, showing up at 6 a.m, hoping to get sent out on the job, eating bologna sandwiches for lunch because that's all I could afford, then getting a job I hated working for a collection agency on the phones, having to catch the bus at 5:30 in the morning and not getting home until after 6 p.m. Those were some hard times. I won't even talk about my mama dying when I was 15, right? And I didn't enjoy any of all of that. And I know you have had things that you can think of that were some rough and hard times in your life as well. And I can honestly say that me here right now in this moment in 2022, yes, that was all very hard, but I learned so much from it. If I didn't go through the things I went through, if I didn't go through those things, I wouldn't have the drive I have right now. I wouldn't be as hungry. There is nothing you would be able to pay me to have the things I went through be any different. It's hard and it hurt when you went through those times, but you know that it truly made you who you are today. It made you the beautiful person who you are. Wisdom doesn't come from reading books and learning and taking classes. Wisdom comes from life events. Those events that shaped and molded you. You've never seen someone who has never been through some crazy life event, somebody who never went through any kind of hardship, be the super wise person. No, that person just doesn't exist, right? The people who do the most amazing things in the world have been through some things and have seen some things in life. A smooth sea doesn't make a skilled sailor, right? If you want to be able to consider yourself a strong person, then you have to understand that you have to go through challenges. You have to be broken at some point. Don't look at the past and wish it was different. Appreciate what you learned from it. Appreciate how you see things different. Because look, man, life is a marathon. And if you were about to start a marathon, would you put on a 50-pound bag before you try and run this marathon? No. So why do it in real life? What's up? I want to take a quick moment to say thank you so much for listening to this episode and to also let you know that this podcast is 100% donation driven, which means it's completely funded by you, the listener. So if you like the content I have to offer, I would love it if you can make a donation and you get to pick the amount. I left links in the description of the video as well as my homepage. You can choose which way benefits you the best to donate. And if you need more options, please feel free to email me at dariusdotch@gmail.com. That's dariusdotch@gmail.com. Again, thank you so much for being here and let's get back to it. So why do we do it in real life? It's time for us to put down that weight. Life needs us to put down that anger, the guilt, the shame you have about your past or the things you did wrong or wish you did different or about things other folks did to you that were wrong. Because right now, we are still not forgiving them. We still won't let things go. We carry around all this weight, and this marathon that we're going through is way harder because of it. And there's another phrase I like. It says, those mountains that you carry, you were only meant to climb them. And think about that one for a second. How many mountains did you have to climb that you're still carrying around with you? And the question is, why can't you put it down? A lot of times we take what has happened to us in the past and we attach it to our identity. We say, I'm the son of an alcoholic father, or I'm a woman who's been broken by a man I loved. I'm a man whose childhood scarred me, or I had this and that happened to me, and this is who I am. Yes, those things did happen to you, but that doesn't make you who you are. Like your job. If I asked you who you are and you tell me you are a sales associate, that ain't who you are. That's just something you do on a daily basis. That doesn't define you. And we have to know the difference and look at life that way. Just like you wouldn't let a burglar who broke in your house sleep on the couch and live there rent free. Why would you allow your joy to be stolen every day by being stuck in the past? That's choosing to allow yourself to be pissed off. That's choosing to allow yourself to feel that anger and resentment towards something. That's choosing to put yourself in those negative emotions, to feel that guilt and let all these things control your life when they've already happened and there's nothing you can do to change it. Don't torture yourself. And don't keep playing the victim. Shit happens in life. Shit happens to people. I'm not saying that your shit ain't as hard as my shit and vice versa, but we go through shit. And we have to learn from it, to get stronger from it, to grow from it, and succeed and be better because of it, in spite of it. You have to get up, dust yourself off, and keep it moving. Now, you have to learn to let go. Those things that happened to you 3, 5, 10 years ago, it's time. You have to take a deep breath and let it go. Let go of that mistake, of that event, of that experience, and keep going. The fact that it didn't kill you means it wasn't strong enough to. It means it made you stronger. And you know it made you stronger. I don't have to tell you that. But the reality of it is, and this may be you, maybe somebody you know, but there are some people today that are in a bad mood over something that happened 10 years ago. Man, what? There are people in a bad mood today over something that happened 5 years ago, 3 years ago. Now, come on now. Now, that reminds me of a kid pouting after not being able to eat dessert. And they sit there and they sulk with their arms folded for 10 minutes instead of knowing that there's going to be plenty more dessert in life. So instead of going outside and play, instead of enjoying this responsibility-free life they have, they let mama or daddy telling them they can't have dessert ruin their day. Now, I'm not trying to make fun of anybody, but at the same time, I'm trying to show you how ridiculous it is to still be in a bad mood for something that happened to them 5 years ago. That's crazy. But check this. You want to know what's even crazier? It's not what happened to them that has them in a bad mood. It's not the actual thing that happened. It's how they feel about it. It's not what happened. It's how they feel about it. For example, if somebody you loved cheated on you, hell yes, that hurts. Been there, done that. And you're allowed to feel that pain, but that still shouldn't be affecting you for years and years and years down the road. Why? Because you literally have recovered from it physically. You still have food on your table. Your life still went on. Your job, your career, your family, your friends. You still have a car. Them cheating on you didn't make you lose an eye. You still have all your limbs. You're fine. Now, do you get where I'm going with this? The act of them cheating on you literally isn't holding you back. You are free to live however the hell you want to live, but the way them cheating on you made you feel is still causing you to be bitter and hurt and upset at them today, even though it was years ago. And don't feel bad. I'm guilty of this as well, right? And let me tell you, I held resentment towards the woman who cheated on me and broke my heart for years. I even put it in a song, and it wasn't until somebody asked me who she was because they heard the song that I was like, well, damn, that was over a decade ago. Over a decade, and I was still holding on to that. It wasn't that the event of her cheating on me, it was the fact that it makes us feel unwanted, right? It makes us feel unloved. It hurts, like we're not good enough. We can't stand the fact that they would do that to us. That is what's actually being carried around, not the event. And I really think you should hear this other episode that talks about forgiveness. It's called Time to Forgive Them. And in this episode, I talk about forgiving people and how that forgiveness is for you, not them. And when you forgive someone, it's for you to release that anger and resentment to be able to live your life. Not because it's okay that they did what they did, but it's because it's time for you to release that pain. So I'm going to end this episode by saying this. Holding on to that anger and resentment and guilt over things that happened in the past is like holding on to a hot potato in your hand and waiting to throw it at the person or the thing that hurt you and never actually getting to throw it. It doesn't do any good and it never will. You're just carrying it around. You have to look down at your hand and say, why in the hell am I still holding on to this hot ass potato? Just drop it. You are free to release it at any time. Don't carry the potato. It hurts. It literally hurts, and it ain't hurting nobody but yourself. So that's what I got for you today. If you like this episode, please share it with somebody. somebody that can benefit from this, somebody who is a friend or a family member, somebody who has goals and is trying to improve their lives. So thank you again, and let's get it in.